Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil. Today, taking a look at a Stage 2 EX from 151 that I've really been looking forward to, and that's Blastoise EX, a very tanky Pokemon that can do a high level of damage, which makes it very appealing. It's Stage 2, so I'll have to deal with that, but it's 330 HP, very good there, and then it's got the solid shell ability on top of it that this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. So we are weak to lightning, so we're a bit in trouble there with Miraidon decks. But otherwise, we're very good shape, very hard to one-shot. Even Charizard EX will not one-shot it after we've taken 5 prizes unless they have some way to modify the damage. So very tanky, taking multiple hits. And like I said, does lay out a high level of punishment. Twin Cannons for 2 energy. Does up 140 per water energy you discard from your hand. Basic water energy, that is. And that's really all there is in standard anyway. There's no special water energy. So it gets up to 280, and 280 is kind of that magic number. So 140 for 1, 280 for 2. We're not discarding from the Pokemon itself like Ice Rider was, but from hand. So our Blastoise is still all powered up for the next turn. We just have to get some more energy into hand, and we're good to deal out more damage again. So very, very appealing. It's playing a 3-0-3 line, 3 of the Squirtles, no staged ones, and 3 of the Blastoise EX. So relying on Rare Candy. But with water decks, Irida really is quite nice. We'll get to that shortly, but it sets it up very well. What else do we play in this deck? Playing a 2/2 Palkia VSTAR, 280 HP. Familiar with that, I'm sure. Subspace Swell does 60 plus 20 for each bench Pokemon, so that's 260 it can do. So it's 20 short with full benches than the Blastoise EX. So it does not one-shot those 280 Pokemon, but it does, even without full benches, it gets up to one-shotting basic Vs or basic EXs usually, 2 water energy again, but you don't need to discard energies from hand, so it's easier to stream attacks as well. So I like it in the deck, and it's got the Star Portal VSTAR ability. Once during your turn, you may attach up to 3 water energies from the discard pile to your water Pokemon any way you like. So very good. It powers itself up, powers up the Blastoise EX, because we do need to power it up. I like it as a way to power it up, and I like it as an attacker. And of course, if you want to attack with Radiant Greninja, then we can power it up in a single turn with Palkia too. So it does keep Radiant Greninja as a threat as long as we haven't used that VSTAR ability. What else do we have here? 1 Manaphy. I'm playing a Kirlia engine, which we'll get to. That's 90 HP, so Radiant Greninja wipes out 2 Kirlias, losing your engine, and your opponent grabs 2 prizes. So Manaphy's kind of a must for this deck. Now, for playing the ladder in live, you could just drop the Manaphy and say, hey, I'm just going to lose those matchups. You just scoop and go to the game, in which case... I'll get to what I'd add in shortly. Then we play a Kirlia engine, a 3-3 line, 3 Ralts, 3 Kirlia. Right, Kirlia is, I think at this point, I think it's my preferred engine for this deck. A lot of people play Barrel, but Barrel only works if you have a small hand size, and not so sure I'm going to fit Skwovet in the deck as well so comfortably. In which case, I'm only drawing a card or 2, if anything, with the Barrel. So Kirlia works much better. Refinement, you discard a card from hand, draw 2 cards with it. Radiant Greninja's ability, you discard a basic in energy. It doesn't have to be basic, any energy. Of course, we just play basic water in this deck. So you discard an energy and put 2 cards in hand. So anyway, the Kirlia can be an energy or any other card you want. I don't play in the deck, and I would certainly like to, the single prize Gardevoir or the Gallade, right? The one searches your deck for a supporter once per turn. That's very nice, of course. And the other draws 2 cards to hand. You don't have to discard, and if there's any of an energy, you can accelerate them. I don't remember now if you have to accelerate, if you can. I would like to have one or both of those in the deck, so if I dropped a card like Manaphy, I would include that instead, and that might make the deck work better on the ladder. For a tournament, if you took it to, I think you have to have Manaphy because you can't take some of those hard losses. The ladder, you just go on those hard losses and go and hit concede, go to the next game, right? We know how that works. I don't know if that's the healthiest thing, but that is the way we can tend to play. 11 basic energy. Some decks play 10, some go 12. 10 might be the most common I've seen. So you could cut an energy and to get the, again, the Gardevoir or the Gallade. Could cut a water and a Manaphy and get one of each. Might make the deck better than it is now. If you tried it out, let me know your thoughts about those tweaks. I will say this list has been a bit inspired by Ember Power. Certainly check out his channel. I'll try to put a link to his video in the description. If I don't, please just remind me about that. He's one of the people that's promoting the Kirlia engine with it, which isn't the common way to do it, but I think it is better. I think he's right about that. He doesn't play Palkia in the list. I do like the Palkia, though. Okay, getting to the trainers as I've rambled on a bunch here, but I'm going to start with Irida. Irida for a Stage 2 water deck is so nice, right? It kind of, Irida makes Stage 2 water decks viable and actually better, perhaps, than any other Stage 2 deck. For any other type, because Irida, you search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card. So you can grab your Blastoise EX, the Stage 2 Pokemon, and the Rare Candy with it. Boom, you get those two pieces. If it's not a water Pokemon, you have to grab a Rare Candy, and you can't get your Pokemon, right? Or you grab the Ultra Ball to get you the Pokemon. Here, we actually grab the Pokemon, we grab the item. Super, super good. So for Irida, which then means we also play Battle VIP Pass. We need to get a bunch of Pokemon early in the game. So for Battle VIP Pass, we're probably going to, if we go first, there's a decent chance we have Battle VIP Pass. If we go second, we're almost guaranteed to hit at least one, because you're either going to have a Battle VIP Pass in hand or an Irida in hand, and you're going to Irida that turn for a Pokemon and a Battle VIP Pass, right? So we set up very nicely, and I like Battle VIP Pass in the Kirlia engines because I can discard it after turn one, because I don't like the card does make me feel bad in a lot of decks. After turn one, it's a dead card, and there's not a lot of discarding in the game. So, but with the Kirlia engine, I think that's very solid. Other supporters, there's not a lot here for supporters. That is a weakness with this deck. So if we don't set up by hitting the pieces we need, we may struggle. One Iono, that's all we have, and two Boss. I would love some more supporters with maybe a PAL pad or something. But again, deck space, very tight with this deck. You could drop the Palkias, right? Like I said, Ember Power didn't play the Palkias. You could play a 1/1 Palkia, but I like Palkia, so I want to make sure I can play it in each game. So sometimes it's a good early game attacker. Sometimes it's nice to get things set up late game. I just like it, so I want to be sure I can attack with it. So I'm including a 2/2 line. You could go without the Palkia. That frees up 4 deck slots to try to do something a little different. All right, getting back to the trainers here. 4 Ultra Ball, super good. 1 Raihan. A basic energy deck, you always include a Raihan. You need a reason not to if you don't. 1 switch card, that's it. Again, I would like more of that because the Kirlia is a retreat cost of 2. If they gust that up, it's not a good feeling. But 1 switch is all I feel I can afford for deck space. 4 Rare Candy, because I'm not playing any Stage 1s with the Blastoise line. You could put 1 Stage 1 in, then you could drop a Rare Candy, but that actually doesn't get you a deck slot. So some people play only 3 Rare Candies without the Stage 1, 2. You could do that for a deck space. If you're, most of the time you're just attacking with 2 Blastoise. If you want to attack with 3 Blastoise, then you probably definitely want the 4. You may have to discard some Rare Candies along the way. 1 may be prized. So I like having 4, but that's part of my insecurities. I'm always afraid, what if I run out or I can't get it, right? So maybe being more aggressive, dropping a Rare Candy is the best play. 4 Level Balls. With the Kirlia engine, Level Ball instead of Nest Ball, I think is the way to go, because you can get your Kirlias as well as your Ralts with it. You get your Manaphy. You do get your Squirtle. Now, you can't then, Ultra Ball is the only way to search, or Irida, which Irida is probably the main way to get the Palkia V or the Radiant Greninja down, right? So getting those is a little harder, easier if we play the Nest Ball, but getting those Kirlias with Level Ball makes it well worthwhile. This is, I believe, the first deck I've included Letter of Encouragement, so pleased to have that. You use this card only if one of your Pokemon were knocked out last turn, then you search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards. So I like this. Only 1, just because you can't use it every turn, so you have to have this card in hand on a turn when you can actually use it. And if it comes late in the game, you might not have 3 energies in the deck anymore. But I do like it, or especially if you get it early on. really helps set up a lot. 2 Superior Energy Retrieval. This is a very important card here. You discard 2 cards from hand and put up the 4 basic energies from your discard pile back into your hand, right? We need to keep powering up Blastoise. We're discarding Recover, so 2 Superior Energy Retrievals is what I'm doing. Not playing the regular Energy Retrieval. If that's the right name, just puts 2 into hand. That could be good too. You don't have to discard, but getting up the possibility of 4, I think, is definitely better. And 1 Super Rod, get back any combination of 3 Pokemon and or energy from the discard pile into your deck, which can be good for your Pokemon, but it's also good for energy for sure. 2 Artisans, partly we want to be able to bump Path. Path shuts off our ability on both Palkia, and we do want to use that. It shuts off the ability on Radiant Greninja, and Blastoise EX loses its ability of 30 less damage, so bumping that's good. Plus, we need a lot of Pokemon in play quickly, so Artisan's just useful for that too. Our opponent, it helps our opponent too, so that's the downside to Artisan, right? We might help our opponent more than us sometimes, and then 2 Boss, which I think I already mentioned. So that's the list. I'm running the 60. It's been a pretty solid list, and it's a pretty straightforward deck in terms of getting used to a brand new deck. This hasn't been too difficult. I'll talk about that a little bit during gameplay. All right, hopefully I go first this game, of course, and hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it's a good game. The deck sets up so you can see what the deck does, and there's some good game action, right? That's really what we're looking for, and I'd like to win too. Okay, what am I going to start? I'll start a Squirtle. It's a nice set of cards. I have Battle VIP Pass. I'll have to decide, am I going first or second? That's a question too right now. Do I play Manaphy or not? I'm not sure. So I'm going first. Okay, so a Lost Zone deck. So what do I do here? The problem is if I get rid of this energy, right? I'm going to get a Palkia into play too, I think, because Palkia, that way Palkia can get the energy back for me. So I think that's my play. They might have Radiant Greninja, which I will want, but okay, so that's good. I'm going to hold off on Manaphy. I'm going to assume they can't hit me with Radiant Greninja this next turn. I'll grab a Ralts because I need to hit Palkia next turn. It's fairly simple. It's not too bad of a deal. I'll assume they knock out my active. If they rope me, just trying to think through what I do, right? Do I send up a Ralts? I might send up Ralts. Let that get knocked out. Could send up Palkia. They're not going to one-shot that. Do they play like a lightning attacker, right? A lightning attacker is difficult. And another stadium that some of these decks play, which I'm not, and could regret it in this game, is I'm not playing the Lost City, which is largely here to get rid of lightning attackers from Lost Zone. Right, Miraidon, it doesn't matter getting rid of 1 lightning attacker. They're just going to send up another one. The Lost Zone deck probably just has 1 lightning attacker, so if you get rid of it, then you don't have to worry about it again. Okay, well, that's nice for them. So they can attack. So they're going to take the knockout with Cramorant, pretty much guaranteed. All right, so Giratina. Giratina, sorry, what am I doing there? Yeah, it didn't sound right. So Giratina it one-shots the Palkia VSTAR on its own, right? That's not great. All right, what do I get rid of with... I'm going to get rid of this Manaphy. I like Manaphy, but I really want the other cards. I may ditch the Rare Candy before I'm done, too. All right, well, I will get rid of Battle VIP Pass. That's a toss-away card. Irida's nice. Only 1 energy. I don't like, it doesn't feel good to accelerate 1 energy. Now, I could also play, which I don't, energy search in the deck, because I could cover that with the Irida. Okay, so what am I going to do here? Irida. I'm going to grab a Palkia. Do I want to use Ultra Ball? That's part of my concern, right? Or my question. Palkia. Oh, wait, I was knocked out, so I want to use Letter of Encouragement because I want energy, right? And I don't. No, I want the VSTAR. Don't be stupid. Okay, that's quite good. Or maybe, I'm going to use Palkia's VSTAR power this turn, right? Now I'm starting. No, well, yeah, I can get 3 in the discard pile, right? So let me, I should have done this before probably, but that's okay. All right, so that's not bad. I don't think I want a second Palkia this game, right? So let me get rid of, I have 2 energies, right, in the discard pile. So get rid of 1 energy and the Palkia, and I want to get down to Squirtle. And if they want to take a single prize, I can give up Squirtle again. That's okay. So, but now I'm going to accelerate to. Ooh, I have Switch. I could take out the 2 comfies too. I could do that, right? Maybe I do that. Maybe I make that my play. Do I want to take... All right, I'm switching plans late in my turn. I'm going to take them out with Greninja. I should have sequenced things differently then. I wasn't thinking that was my play at all. It may come back to bite me. That's for sure. Because I can't do this attack again, but I've taken 2 prizes. The Cramorant does not one-shot me, right? The Giratina is scary, so slowing the Giratina down, I think, right, it just slows up their setting up the Giratina, taking out the comfies. And that is their goal, right? Because they have 4 in the Lost Zone. They can get 5, 6, right? They would have liked to have used the comfies. So slowing, so that probably pushes off, especially the big attack with 10 in the Lost Zone. I've delayed them by a turn probably with that. At least I'm hoping that's the case. I only play 1 Switch in the deck, so that could be awkward too. I should have, of course, sent up the Radiant Greninja. That was a mistake. So Sableye scary, but I feel good that I took out the 2 comfies because now things are that much slower. They don't even take a knockout here, so you know it's quite good. It's quite good. I'm gonna get rid of Artazon because I'm better set up than they are, right? Artazon is gonna help them more than me now and probably later on too. All right, that's beautiful. So I will boom. What do I want to do here? I think. Do I want to? I'm just going to retreat. Do I use? Like, what do I want to get here? So I will grab. Ooh, okay. A Palkia. I'll grab him just to discard, see what I hit, and then I will see what my next play is. It's not bad. Okay, Pokemon. So 1 Squirtle's prized. I'm going to attach to Blastoise. I'm going to do 180. I could get to 200, of course, but I'll just take him out. So they don't play a lightning attacker, right? I talked about that as an option. That's more Lost Zone box. This is Lost Zone Giratina. So they're already playing Psychic and Grass and maybe Water. Well, they had Jet Energy, of course, which was really good for comfies. Roxanne. So I'll go down to 2 cards. So that is, but this is where the Kirlia is a good engine too. It's pretty comparable to, so they only got, they didn't advance the Lost Zone state. So they conceded there because they were in trouble. So the choice I made, to take out the 2 comfies with the Greninja was correct. I should not have. I should have sent up the Radiant Greninja to start. I think I'd have to go back with that turn. Did I have knowledge before the turn started that I could have pulled that off? I think I could. If I wasn't sure, then sending up the Palkia was correct. Being willing to pivot is good. You know, a degree. You need to be flexible enough, but not wishy-washy. So let's see what we can do in another game here. That last game went quite nicely. My opponent didn't set up that well, partly because of what I did to them, but you know, ended up. Their first turn wasn't bad. I mean, they got 4 cards in the lost zone, and so they could attack with Cramorant. It was those taking out the 2 Comfies slowed them down a lot. Took the wind out of their sails. All right, so I'm taking a mulligan. I don't know what they're going to think I have. Water, Artazon, Letter of Encouragement, right? I don't know what decks are playing that, if any, right now on a regular basis. So 2 mulligans. Okay, so they know all right, well, they know I have Blastoise and Palkia, don't they? So I will send up the Squirtle. We'll see what happens here. Okay, sorry. Got a text I had to take a peek at. Anyway, so up against Mew going second. So this one's scary now, right? This is scary. Obviously, they have to 2-shot the Blastoise, right? I have to 2-shot them, but they're a 3-prize Pokemon. I'm a 2-prize Pokemon. So all right. So they're getting a nice start. My start will, you know, it really depends when I hit off this Radiant Greninja. Basically, it's basically going to come down to that. So they got an energy in play. So they're in makes it easier for them to 1-shot my Palkia VSTAR, right? The choice belt helps against that. 220, so they're 250. So I think they just need 1 power tablet to take him out, as long as they don't put in as long as they don't attach a DTE. All right, so they get to draw 1 more. Use the switch, obviously get the pivot in the active. If I can hit into him some, that's nice. I probably cannot. All right, let's see what happens here. I need to get lucky. I need to hit something. All right, Irida is good. All right, so I want to get a Palkia down, and I want this guy down, right? Palkia, Squirtle, and 2 Kirlias. 2 Ralts. Easy peasy. What do I want to attack with, right? That's part of my question. I'm going to attach to a Squirtle. It kind of makes my opponent's choice a little tricky, right? Because in one sense, they want to target the Palkia. That's a multi-prize Pokemon. Plus, the Palkia evolves into accelerates energy. So that's okay. We'll see what happens here. If they just knock out my Squirtle, that's not terrible. 1 energy in the discard pile. So boss. Okay, so they're taking out the guy with the energy, so I kind of like that. They could have taken out my Palkia, which I think would have been, that I think that would have been the play I would have made. It might not have been the correct play, but I think I put the energy on Squirtle to try and bait them into taking him out, which they did, I believe. So anyway, so we'll see what happens. I don't believe Mew can 1-shot me at all. Okay, so 1, 2. So I want to get rid of energies because I could recover all 3 with Palkia. All right, let's see here. I have 3 in the discard. Get rid of Manaphy. I don't want you. I'll keep the Kirlia in hand. Don't want to reveal information. Okay, well, this is good. That's very good. What am I going to do here? All right, so I'm going to use the Rare Candy for sure. So let me use that. I got to figure out what I'm doing here. So what am I going to grab with Irida? I'll grab Palkia and maybe a Switch card. The VSTAR. No, I'm going to attack with Palkia at this point. Attack with Palkia. So what do I want here then? I want... I'm a little confused, I got to say. So I'm going to... Okay. I let myself get confused, I will say. Okay, so I'm going to attack with Palkia. I'm going to accelerate my 3 energy. All right, let me grab my 3 energy first. I don't have knockout, but that's okay. I'm going to 2-shot him, and they're going to have some trouble hitting through me. All right, I want to keep drawing, I think. So I'm going to get rid of Level Ball. I could have used the Level Ball too, which might have been the better play. All right, I hit Squirtle, so that worked out well. I took a risk, maybe the wrong play. So getting maximum damage off Palkia. So they're probably going to finish off my Palkia pretty easily, but I only need to discard 1 energy now for Blastoise to work. So that's very nice. I'll discard energy with Kirlia, and then I do have energy. Well, I got to think this through. Whether I discard energy, because I draw 2 cards, either with Radiant Greninja's ability. Oh, wow. So they still don't one-shot my Blastoise with Meloetta. So finishing off that me with 2 energy is very important to me. So they're probably going to switch and attack. I would just retreat, right? I would really like to take out the double energy guy. So 220, 30. So they have knockout now. So nicely done by them for sure. I don't finish them off. Oh, they did 340. Oh, that's right, because they caught. So they're no, they don't one-shot me unless Path is in play. So I have Raihan, but I would love to use Boss this turn, right? Boss would make... I need 2 energies, though, too, so let me get rid of that. All right, so that's good, too. What do we have? 3, so I can recover 4 energies. So I will toss an energy. All right, well, I don't need Palkia. Do I want... In case they play Path, I think I might want to keep Artazon as a bump to Path. I could have also... All right, well, that's nice, too. So I'm not going to hit... All right, so I want a Raihan here and get a Rare Candy, I guess. So Raihan. Grab a Rare Candy. Okay. So just setting up the next turn as well. So I recover. What do I do? I'm going to discard the energy because I can... Unfortunately, I can't recover it this turn. That is the one problem. I can't recover when I discard in the process. right? It'll show me 1 extra energy here, I believe. Oh, maybe yeah, so that 1 energy is there, so I couldn't. Okay, so I will attack. I'll attack for both. Why not? Therefore, I'm 1 energy knockout away on both of the Blastoise. So they had to use 2. Let's think. So they're doing 280. So they need both. They need both fog crystals to knock me out, and they also need energy. Okay, so they can attack with Meloetta this turn, which obviously they want to do that. I really want a boss, though, right? I haven't seen a boss yet, so I mean, I have draw cards, so that's okay, too. If they knock me out, of course, I'm in some trouble. They're just thinning, I guess. I would assume they haven't played down the Psychic Energy yet, right? Which they want to attach to Meloetta, I assume. And now they want to draw with Genesect. Like I said, they might want to path me, right? Because I lose that 30 damage reduction rate. Right now they have to do 360 to one-shot me, which they can't get to that, I'm pretty sure. So, 2 Kirlias is a pretty good amount. I don't know if 3 Kirlias is good or if that's just getting too greedy. I haven't taken a prize yet. They've taken 3, so I need to get going, right? I'm going to need to probably just go Mew to win the game here. All right, so that's the state. So did I get rid of my stadium? I discarded 1 stadium. So I do have 1 more stadium. I don't like doing damage to me. Okay, but they're giving up the knockout to my active. That's good. Okay, so I have 3 energy. So I'm going to make this play because it gets me. I have 4 energy there. Okay, I'm going to want to Irida. I don't need boss this turn, right? So grab him. And Letter of Encouragement's good too for next turn. But I want to be able to hit boss. What do I have? I just have 1 boss. Okay, so that's important to know. So I just want something to discard, I guess, right? So that's definitely something I don't want. So I'm going to... I'll get rid of Battle VIP Pass. I need 2 cards to discard for Super Energy Retrieval. That's what I need to do here. Okay, that's good. That's very good. I possibly. Well, that's pretty good too, isn't it? All right, I'm going to want to get 4 energies into hand now, right? So let me get rid of Ralts and him. Just get back all these energies, which is good, which means my hand is full of energies, which means if they disrupt me some... No, that doesn't help me. So I was just going to say, so let me attach 1. I need to hit boss, of course, next turn. I take the 20 damage. That should be okay. He's just got 50 HP, so I discard 1. I keep 3 in hand, so they know I have knockout for game. I mean, they need to disrupt me, right? At this point, they can disrupt me, which is what they want to do. If they don't disrupt my hand, I draw, besides drawing for turn, I see 2 cards with Greninja, 2 cards with Kirlia, and 2 cards with Kirlia. So I see 6 cards plus 1 draw. I see 7 cards right now. I should see 7 cards anyway. So I need boss, though. So obviously they made the right play by setting up Meloetta, because that obviously finishes me off. But they've lost half of their Fusion Strike energy. I think they probably should have switched Muse, kept the one alive with 2 Fusion Strike energy, I think was the better play. But so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So I send up I can. No, I don't. I can't accelerate. I was thinking, oh, if I use Palkia, I would finish them off too, but that isn't going to work. All right, so I need to hit boss, plain and simple. All right, so I want to draw through this deck as best I can, right? I need to hit bosses at the top, wasn't it? That's sad. Very sad. So, okay, so don't do that. All right, so I need 2 energies. So I will get rid of 1 energy first. Iono, don't. Okay, so I need to hit boss here. Basically, plain and simple. Okay, so do I? This is probably it. I mean, I will Iono if not, I guess. I hit boss, so I have game. There we go. Okay, I got it. So Doug, the engine proved its worth. I will might as well discard both energies, do the extra damage. Doesn't really extend the game some any, so hitting that extra click. So there we go. Close, had the comeback with the deck. So showing off the deck's ability to come back from being behind is nice too. So close game, right? Had to hit the boss. That came down to, did I hit the boss? Did I not hit the boss at the end? The Kirlia engine. Look, I saw more cards with Kirlia. I would have seen no bosses with the barrel there, right? Because they didn't they didn't Iono me down to a smaller hand. I had more than 5 cards in hand. Would have seen nothing then, but instead top decked and hit 6 cards. So more, so 7 cards. So Kirlia, certainly in that game, illustrated the strength of the Kirlia engine. So look, Blastoise is a lot of fun. If you like tanky Pokemon, which a lot of people do, I certainly do for one, don't be afraid to try out Blastoise. Stage 2 waters with Irida, really nice because you can grab your Stage 2 and your Rare Candy. I really like it. I'm definitely going to work on this deck more. Probably try it out with some other engines, maybe try dropping the Palkia, see how it works, just see what the different ways to make this deck work are, see what options I like and don't like. But give it a try. Let me know your thoughts about the deck and the build and your suggestions. Take care.